Hey guys, what's up? It is the 20th of January and we're live. It is the evening of the 20th and I got the evening to myself, so I thought I'd get on here and come say hello, talk to you guys and see what's up and chat about whatever you guys want to talk about. Made myself a cup of coffee, I got myself a drink, and you guys have my undivided attention for at least a few minutes. You're welcome. I'm just kidding. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. It is Thursday night. Friday's on the horizon. And for a lot of you working folk, it is a good day leading into the weekend. And for those of us who are retired and don't have to work anymore, it's a day off. It's another day. Can you guys hear me okay? Is my audio good? Thank you guys for the likes. Appreciate that. Is my audio good? I don't, sometimes I'll just go with a lapel mic, but this one, I'm going to open it up to guests if people want to come in and guest host and chat about stuff. And I don't know how many people are out there. Thank you, David and April. I appreciate it. You guys want to talk? Is there anything you guys want me to talk about? As you guys know, I do a TikTok news show called Drew Breaks the News. I also am a representative of Gorton's Fisherman's brand fish, like sticks and stuff. I look like I go ice fishing for a living and hunting snow crabs or something, but I don't. I'm retired from the military. I was in the Navy for 20 years. I am a conservative, but I am not a Republican. Do you think they're going to lock Fauci up? No, I think he'll get away with it. Unless Scooby-Doo and his crew can come out of nowhere and foil it. Those darn kids with their stupid dog. Gorton isn't far from me. I think Fauci will get away with it. Thank you for your services. You're welcome. My Gorton's fisherman services and my military services. You're welcome. So let's see, what else is about me? No one gets locked up in our country. Nobody that makes it onto national television gets locked up unless you've done something to break the ritual, or you've said too much, you've gotten out of step with the agenda and the initiative. Then yeah, they'll demonize you. It's kind of like what they did to Leah Remini after she exposed Scientology. Jax. No one's real. Yeah, nobody gets covered. Nobody gets arrested, man. Fauci will get away with it. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you and your meddling kids and your dog. I hate dogs. That's why I put beagles into sand flea boxes and have their faces ripped off because I hate dogs. I'm Dr. Fauci. I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you stupid kids and your dumb dog. I'm good, Jax. Thank you. Did you hear? If you had COVID, your antibodies will keep you from getting COVID. Oh, like a vaccination? Weird. In Brazil, every president goes to prison. So I don't know. Did you guys see that in the UK that they actually dropped all their vaccine and COVID mandate stuff? Like they're done with it. They basically England is trying to become the next United States. They are they're done with COVID over there in jolly old England. So that's interesting. I wish that they wouldn't have started, because then my wife and I could have gone on our really fun what was supposed to be a second honeymoon to Germany and Denmark and a couple other places. Yeah, people finally... Now, I mean, the United States is a little bit bigger. I don't know if you guys know this, not sure if you've heard, if you're aware of our history, but the United States came from a little place called England. So if you didn't know that, you're welcome. Now, England is a very tiny, very small little country in Europe. And the United States is a large country here in North America. And I don't know if you noticed the size difference, but it's going to take us a little bit longer, I think, to get there. Wonder if I don't know what I like Tim Dillon's take on Australia, and I think they should all be pardoned. I think the prison island of the United Kingdom should be all pardoned and released because they have been in prison long enough, and it is time for them to be let go. I don't know that Australia ever became its own country. I think they called it Australia, and they just let prisoners raise families and then allowed visitors to come in to make more money. But that's just my opinion. I don't know anything. If this is... So people want me to do a podcast. People are asking for me to do a podcast. This is what I would do. I would just talk like this all the time. And you guys would get sick of me very quick because I have some very strange thoughts on things. And I don't think that anybody is being told the truth about very much in the world at all. But what do I know? I'm a silly retired Navy chief with a glorious beard and a pair of suspenders. Well, Mr. Ned, based on your Beetlejuice profile pic, I believe you. And last one ain't strange. Yeah. No, man, I mean, I think that life is pretty good. I think that, nice, ex-Navy? What, you're a quitter? You didn't get the retirement? You suck, man. I'm just kidding, bro. E5, the lowest level, dude. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for your service, bro. E5 was absolutely the best pay grade in the Navy. When I made chief, it sucked. The Navy is stupid, man. Like, I successfully swindled my way through my entire 20-year Navy career. You were an E9? But I'm not kidding. What's up, RV? It's good to see you back again, man. I decided to go live again. You were on a carrier, or which one? I was on the Blue Ridge. It's not a carrier, but we were stationed where the Kitty Hawk is. My dad was Navy, but I saw Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat. My mom wanted me to join the Navy. I joined the Army because I didn't want to cut my hair off. Oh, I thought you were Air Force, Jax. Well, either way, thank you also for your service. The Roosevelt, nice. What's up, AV Guru? Hey, man, I don't speak whatever that language is. I'm gonna guess Farsi, but if you wanna type in English, bro, I'm here to entertain you tonight. It's Thursday, and my wife is at a movie, and my children are watching Hotel Transylvania 4 on Amazon Prime for free, by the way, because it's an Amazon exclusive. So if you have kids and you like the Hotel Transylvania series, number 4 is on Prime right now. Your husband was Air Force, 6 tours, didn't retire. But didn't return. Oh, wow. Right on. Well, Jax has, I got to tell you guys, I don't know if you follow Jax Murphy on here. She has an incredible story. First of all, she's a professional bodybuilder, and she's pretty jacked. But that was not always her story. And after her service in the Army, which I thought was the Air Force, she got to a point in her life where she just needed to change, and now she competes professionally for bodybuilding. And I hope I told your story well, but she has a fascinating one, so please go follow her, and she always has some good hot takes too. I watch anything I want on IPTV. What's IPTV? Oh, like the internet? That's true. Oh, IPTV is one of those torrent things, right? Yeah, Jack says yes. Okay, good. I did justice. Sweet. I don't like to misrepresent people. I don't like to be misrepresented either, which is frustrating. But anyway, as I was saying, I don't like to be misrepresented, but as I was saying, I swindled my way through my entire Navy career. I got so many qualifications that I could not tell you. I couldn't even begin to tell you what they were, what they meant. I was I was put in charge of things that I didn't know what I was doing for many years. And I made it work, and I successfully made it out. I would be curious how you would answer this riddle. All right, let me hear what you got, Sister Jackie. I want to hear your riddle. Riddle me this, Jack man. I have a buddy who's still in the Navy. He's still active duty now, and he is a very similar character. And he has also swindled. He's been in longer than 20 years now. Do you think that God could make a rock so big that he could move it? I think God would make... He could do it. I just don't know what it would prove. I think it would be possible, but I don't know why he would. I think maybe he could make a rock so big that you could move it. I mean, have you guys seen some of her poses? I think she could move probably most rocks that I would not be able to move. Now, I am 41 years old, and I have not done a workout routine in at least 2 years. So I am not the person to move those rocks. Just watch that movie. What is the movie? I mean, I've heard the philosophical reference, like the question is familiar to me. What's up, Chico, California? You doing okay out there, man? How's Cali treating you? I don't know how people live in California, man. The cost of like my cousin just got a job in San Francisco, and they're moving her from Missouri all the way to San Francisco and paying for it. And I'm like, that is expensive. I didn't know that was in a movie. See, look, we're having all kinds of like synchronicities tonight. Yeah, man, hit me up with some riddles. Just don't make me say like the N-word. Like people come in here, they're like, hey, can you say this? My friend died. His name is blah, blah. And it like makes you say the N-word. And then they like screen cap it and report you. Conservative California. Oh, nice. So it does exist. I heard that that's where the Mayans were searching for many, many years. Conservative California. Yes. Very familiar. Only 4 people live there. Bruce Jenner, you, and 2 homeless men. But it is conservative California. I'm just joshing, bro. My hubby's from Bakersfield, California. Nice. What's up, JL Terry? What's up, brother? You going live? That dude's another guy that's always doing stuff on TikTok. He's also a guy that has a glorious beard and is bald. I thought he was me wearing a hat one time. 9 out of 10 of the poorest states GOP ran. 8 of 10 that send them money. Okay, hang on. I feel like Dr. Drake Ramore being called in to solve a riddle here. Hang on. 9 out of 10 of the poorest states GOP ran. Period. 8 of 10 that send them $ blue heart. I don't think I'm going to be able to solve this riddle without your help there for my enjoyment. 9 out of 10 of the poorest states GOP ran. Okay, is this a riddle? Okay. Like a race? Or like were they jogging? Were they, it's like just basically just running. And then 8 of 10 that send them $ and blue hearts. Please, someone help me. Very rural and agricultural based. What's up, Bison? Rhode Island? Okay, there's a cabin on the top of a mountain. It has 256 dead people in it. How did they die? A cabin on the top of a mountain. It has 250. I didn't see your riddle, Jack. I'm sorry. Maybe it didn't go through. I don't know that I get everybody's comments. I see you asking me if I wanted a riddle, and I don't see the actual riddle, man. I'm sorry. It's not showing up on my screen. There's a cabin on top of a mountain. It has 256 dead people in it. How did they die? I don't know. I don't know how they died. It's gonna be one of those where like the answer is easy. Like, haha, you idiots. You missed the word the. It was in there twice, which makes this sentence not a sentence, which makes this situation non-existent, which makes this riddle not a riddle. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me, Jack. Blue states support red states. Oh, look, man, if you guys think, if you think that the Republican or the Democrat Party is going to save you if you're a Democrat who thinks that the Republicans are never going to make a comeback, or a Republican who thinks the Democrats are never going to make a comeback, I would wager that you are about 5 or 6 years old, because no person that's lived through any election cycle past the age of understanding would be able to see that whole entire thing is a giant scam. All right, resend it eventually. Red states needing more as their economies can't survive and their government doesn't provide. I haven't seen any data acknowledging that red states are suffering when it comes to their economies. A plane crash. Oh, that's dark, Jax. Why'd you do that? What's up with that Chandler guy? Chandler Bing? Chandler Bong? Who? Right wing, left wing, same bird. Plane crash is how they died. Just sent it. Bro, I don't see a riddle anywhere. It's not coming up. Is it inappropriate? Like, are there bad words? Because there is literally nothing coming up on my screen. Jack 2. And I don't see it. I see you say just sent it. I see you say what the heck. I don't see any riddle. Perhaps this is the riddle. Perhaps I have just been duped into the most elaborate troll ever performed on TikTok. And the riddle is that he's never sending a riddle. It's not going to get sent, guys. This is the riddle, and we have to solve it. So let's figure it out. Thank you for the likes. I'm getting a lot of likes. That's crazy. Why can't the sailors play cards? Oh, Jax, I already know, with as dark as your humor is, the answer is going to be because they're all dead. And they died in a freaking plane crash. I saw it's about God and the devil. It says God and the devil. That's literally all I see. You writing, it says God and the devil. The captain's on deck. And they died in a plane crash. That's why. Because they were on top of a mountain in a cabin. That doesn't really sound as much of a riddle as it is just a bad dad joke. Which is fine. But it doesn't seem... It seems more dad jokey. I mean, it was a good attempt. It was all right. I'll give you a little bit of a pass. All right, just a little bit. I'll do it in 2 parts. All right. I can't wait for this riddle. This is the highlight of my entire evening. Army is where I learned all the bad jokes. I love dad jokes. I do too. As long as I'm making you laugh at making fun of you, then I would consider it to be a good night. I'll do it in two parts. All right, man. Dude, I'm telling you, this guy right here, I think this is his shtick. He comes in, he's like, "You want to hear a riddle?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Did you see it?" And I'm like, "No, man, nothing posted." And he's like, "All right, I'll send it again." I just sent it. He's like, "Did you see it?" And I'm like, "No, I still haven't seen it." And then he's like, "Wait a second. Let me try again. How about now?" I'm like, "No, man, I still haven't seen your riddle." And he's like, "That is the riddle. That's it." All right, I do see this jacket. The rich want it, and the poor have it. Has it. I've heard this one before. I don't remember the punchline to it or the answer to it. Well, I saw this. I feel like I saw this in a movie. Is this from a movie? The rich want it, and the poor has it. I mean, I would say, realistically, peace. Oh, nothing. Do you think I can be the next Spider-Man one day? Dude, you're back again? Spider Rick? Spider Rick was in here earlier today asking the same question. My answer hasn't changed, my friend. I think you still have a chance. You got a shot, bro. You should shoot it. Like web slinger. Like your Peter Tingles. Yeah, you were in here earlier, Spider Rick. Batman. What can go up a chimney, down, but can't go down a chimney, up? What? I go to door to door with this one. Well done, Rick. You got me earlier. Thank you for the continued support, sir. Hang on, I might have a crying daughter. It's hard to know if she's playing or if she's being serious. What can go up a chimney down, but can't go down a chimney up? Smoke? Fire? Santa? Can't go down a chimney up. I don't know. You guys are getting me with an umbrella. Oh, you're right. That's totally true. What has lots of eyes but can't see? Is that Hebrew on my finger? On all of them, actually. But yes. And eyes that cannot see. The eye of a storm. Storms have lots of eyes but cannot see. Or tornadoes. Or Mississippi. Ah, there you go. It could be Mississippi. It does have lots of eyes. I want to know what the actual answer is, though. Nope, a potato. Ah, doggone potatoes, man. Potatoes really are a problem. So I'll tell you a funny story about potatoes. When I lived in Washington, this is how weird Washington is. So I still think storms is a better answer, but I'll let you have the potato one. So, we have a not Price Chopper. Price Chopper's here in Missouri. What do we have? We had a Fred Meyer. We had a Fred Meyer store in Washington State. And whenever we would have a storm threat or like an upcoming, like, hey, it might snow or we might have a storm, we might lose electricity we had a lot of windstorms out there. So I would go to the store and what has one eye but cannot see? A storm. There, see? It works. So we would go to the storm and being raised in Ohio, some typical storm shelter foods would be like canned carrots and beans, bottled water, maybe rice, maybe some top ramen. I mean, we have a little cooking stove and stuff. So those are good shelter foods. So I'd go to the store to pick up some good shelter foods. And when I would get there, I would notice every time that there was like an emergency in the state of Washington, you'll never guess what the stores ran out of. It wasn't canned goods, it wasn't bread, it wasn't milk, it wasn't batteries, it wasn't water bottles. It was potatoes. And it's a phenomenon to this day I don't understand. But Fred Meyer and the Aldi and every other store that I would go to in Washington, whenever there was a possible storm or a possible electrical loss, everybody would buy potatoes. And I guess for a couple days, every now and then, people of like Washingtonians ate potatoes together, like in mass, like lots of potatoes. I'm not talking like a can of potatoes. What's up, baby? Ooh, you scary. Oh, it's just you. What you doing?
Hey, tried to scare you.
Oh, okay. You got me. You guys finish the movie already?
No. No one is drinking. I just.
Hey, Zebra.
Something.
Nolan and Trayton are doing something? Okay.
Yeah.
Mashed potato.
Ah!
What was that about? Well, you can't leave your stuff out, babe. Gwen's going to chew on your stuff. You can just throw it away. All right, 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. What am I? 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. What am I? Boy, I don't know. That's a good one. That's another good one. What building has the most stories? A library. A library has the most stories. Or the World Trade Center. Too soon, guys.
Daddy.
R.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a secret.
Okay. Yeah, you can, but do it at the table.
I will.
And be careful.
I will.
Okay. She wants to paint her fingernails. So an R is the answer, huh? Wow. Well, I appreciate the riddles and dad jokes, guys. We can talk about something else. I'm straying more and more away from any type of media, with the exception of TikTok, and a couple of things I've watched on YouTube lately. I downloaded 9 books today because I think I need to listen. They're books on tape. I'm not going to read. I'm not an idiot. I'm going to listen to them. But I downloaded 9 books today because I feel like I don't listen to, I don't intake enough like of that medium, but I intake far too much social media and TikTok and television and stuff like that. So I've all but stopped reading news and watching news. And even when I see stuff now on TikTok, I don't care if they're talking about Trump, Biden, Joe Jorgensen. Like, I'm over it. I'm done. If you don't have a VPN, I guess, so you can bypass and see more world news. Fair. Yeah, I think world news is probably good. I mean, it's all still incorporated. It's all still agenda for whoever's putting the news out. But I guess at least hearing other sides tell the same story wrong, you maybe can find the truth. But it's not a bad idea. I don't really want to know, though. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, I'm tired of absorbing news. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of it. Every time I watch something news related or specifically politics related, I just don't. It's like it's all theater to me. I can't watch it, and even with an open mind, it's so difficult. It's such. I just don't have the ability to watch it and enjoy it anymore. Truth is one thing. Promises are another. I mean, like compromises. I have a news break app. I choose what I want to read. Yeah, and that's fine too. And I think that's why I'm okay with seeing some of the stuff on TikTok because I still have like I'd much rather hear someone else's thoughts on something or like I don't know, for example, like let's say Jax makes a video about something that came out in a Biden press conference or something. She just makes a commentary and I listen to it. Well, if it's interesting, then maybe I would like do some further like want to know like I'd probably want to know more about that. Like that's an interesting topic and it affects me. But that's about it. I mean, I just would rather be, not that I want to focus on the past, but I just don't want to like worry about things that I can't control. I have a question for you. What do you think about near-death experience? News is comedy. Absolutely. Some TikToks are interesting, for sure. NDEs. I've heard a lot of different opinions and takes on it. I don't disqualify near-death experiences or people that say like they see the light or maybe they experienced like hell. Maybe. I mean, I don't disqualify it. Like, I think people have experiences and I think people have dreams also. I think our conscious is just so impossibly hard to figure out and understand. It's not reliable in the sense that it can be studied. Not everybody's conscious. We don't know that everybody's consciousness works the same. Are you just as conscious as me? You know, how do I know that any of you guys even exist? I've never met any of you. You're blips on my screen. You're a username, a profile picture, and a couple words. How do I know? How can I even prove that you're conscious and as well as me? You know. So I think that there's a lot that goes into the psyche and the human conscious that we just don't understand and that we aren't meant to understand. So I think that Paul in the Bible had a near-death experience where God brought him up into a vision to see what heaven would look like. And he had a chance to experience that. And he wrote about it. And I want to say maybe Galatians. I'd have to look it up. But Paul talks about himself having an experience of God showing him a vision of what heaven would look like. And he said, there's so many things I can't even explain. Like, I think he literally couldn't. Like, it would be impossible to explain in words what our brains that only function on 10% could even fathom. So I don't rule out near-death experiences, but I do rule out near-death experiences that come packaged in satanic evil propaganda. I do rule out near-death experiences, not saying that they didn't have them, but whether they are truthful or not. I think that I think there are evil powers. I think there are demons. There are evil forces. There are what we would consider ghosts or even like UFO, alien, all of that stuff. I think it's all demonic. It's all spiritual. I think a lot of what the devil does is very misleading. And I think what the devil is really good at is lying to people and making them think, hey, close the door.
I'll close it. Okay, Dad.
I hate when they leave the garage door open. The Bible says that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against spiritual darkness in high places, principalities, the prince of the power of the air. So I think the devil is very deceptive. And I think that anything that takes away from who God is and how good God is and what he has done in redemption they're all tricks of the devil. So if there is a near-death experience that somebody comes back and they're like, yeah, like I saw Jesus and Vishnu and Krishna and all of the million pantheon gods of the Indian faith, I would be like, no, I don't think you did. But I think if it came back lined in biblical truths, I probably would give it maybe some validation. But I don't know. I mean, that's really forgot. I hope I gave a good answer for that. Sorry for that if that was long. What's up, caveman? A little mundane, but the reality of dreams is easy to. I think we can take our consciousness seriously. 10% thing is not true. Okay, well, it might not be true. That's just what I thought it was. What is up, Melissa? How are you? Yeah. So the 10% thing isn't true? See, well, there you go. Public school for you. I was public school kid my entire life, and I thought it was 10% of the brain. All right. Well, I guess my opinion on that has changed. Look at that. I was also taught that Martin Luther King Jr. was not a rapist. But, you know, what do I know? I was never told recently that the FBI was found guilty for the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. That didn't make national news. Nah, it just got blew up and people ran with it. Yeah, makes sense. That's usually what happens. Yeah, who knows? Well, I always thought it was like 10%. Well, either way, it doesn't really change anything about how I feel about God and what I think that heaven, the experience of heaven will be like, because I think that even in whatever capacity our brain is firing on, I think that we still, as human beings, have a limited ability in understanding spiritual things and godly things and creation things, and we're in a constant search for it, trying to make sense of it. And I think when we come face to face with God, a lot more will be revealed to us, but probably not all of it, even still, because we're created beings. Like, there's like weird people out there that have this like pursuit of like, or they think that they're God, or they think that they're going to become God. You know, the Mormons believe that they get their own planet when they die. They can become their gods of their own planet. Like, I don't really have an interest in becoming God. I don't even really want power. Like, I don't want any of that stuff. Like, I don't want the responsibility of what God does. I try not to make sense of it. Something just can't be. Some things, you're absolutely right. Some things can't be answered. And I totally am okay with that. You know, I would much rather, as a Christian, I'd much rather live in a sense of wonder about God and how awesome He is, and how amazing the creation is, and how amazing life is, how amazing this earth experience is. Like, I'd much rather just enjoy what God has created. I don't want the responsibility, and I don't have the capacity. But I think that there's a lot of human beings that are prone to have these deity-type pursuits where, I mean, it's a historical fact that Caesar was worshipped as a god, was considered a god. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but Kim Jong-un has also put out to his people that he's been reincarnated and might be a god, I think. I could be incorrect on that, but I do think that there's some sort of deity that old Lil Kim out there in North Korea has some sort of supernatural powers. It's a genetic adaptation to have a God idea. Well, what do you mean? Like, you think that that's like human beings, the next step in evolution is like to have a God adaptation? What does that even mean? What's a God adaptation? Is that like like an actual thing that people do, or is that like you have to help me out there? He is satanic. Who was I just talking about? I don't know who D Rose is. Do you think D Rose? Who's D Rose? Is that is that a code for something? We've been more successful in our society by having a God idea. Oh, you're talking about like having like religion and allowing people to like freely believe that there is a creator. Is that? I think that's what you mean. Right side lesbian art. How are you, my friend? Always making TikToks. This woman right here is a TikTok grinder. Not like grinder, like without the E. She's grinding on TikTok, dude. She's always making videos. She's got crazy ideas just like me. We have some differences in ideas, of course, and that's what's fun about talking about stuff. But she has some crazy thoughts too. And crazy thoughts are fun to listen to and fun to entertain. And then you can decide for yourself if you want to have a crazy thought too. But it's great. So it's evolved into us. That doesn't make sense though. I don't know what you mean. I guess I don't understand what you're asking, Jack. And I'm sorry. Maybe I'm missing part of just like I missed your riddles. I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing all of what you're saying. I just don't understand what you're saying. It sounds like you're talking to me in broken sentences, brother. And I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to be disrespectful. It just I know it's hard to have a two-way conversation also on TikTok, and it's very frustrating when you're trying to comment on something that I said, but by delay I say it like, I'm already 30 seconds into the future. Right now, I'm 30 seconds in the future from everybody else. Or not 30, I don't know, it's like 2 seconds or whatever, but there's a slight delay. So I do, I apologize. I do want to dialogue with people. Like this is why I came live. I want to have just conversations, man. I mean, it's nice. I don't do these lives enough. Again, I'm still looking for feedback. All of you people out there watching me now, it would be nice to hear feedback if you think that I should attempt a podcast, because I've been, people have been telling me I need to. What's going on, Truth? Thank you for the gifts. Right side, you don't have to do that. It won't let you send likes, so that's fine too. I don't need likes. Anyway, what is a podcast? So a podcast, RV, is exactly like what we're doing right now. A podcast would essentially it would likely be me live, having conversations, reading comments, but it would be recorded, and then you can subscribe to that podcast and get episodes as they come out. And a podcast is what a lot of people do that feel like they have something to say. Some people are good at it, and some people are not, and I have had success in the past with podcasts. I just don't know if I'm ready to make that type of commitment. Only if you're open-minded. People probably wouldn't consider me to be totally open-minded. I do like to talk about weird things, but when it comes to my actual morals and my beliefs, I have a good voice for podcasts. Thank you. But I have even better face for radio, don't I? That's such a nice compliment. You have a good voice for podcasts, but you don't have a face for the movies. I get it. I know. I look like I belong in Seattle. I know that I look very different from the people that I go to church with. I know that's true. I think people are often very hesitant to talk to me in real life. And I don't ever want people to be hesitant to talk to me in real life, but that is a reality. I did it to myself. These doggone tattoos and this stupid beard and my stupid gay nose ring. Now, it's okay. Everybody's judgmental, bro. I don't judge people for being judgmental. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. I think it's part of the human condition. And it's such a fascinating thing how people can make assumptions about people. I still have my own prejudices. It's all there, man. I mean, it's real. Everybody has prejudice. I think you have a prophetic persona. Well, I knew you were going to say that. Truth. We use it as a tool. I think being judgmental is good. I think it's good to make judgments. I think it's also good and wise to be correctable. So I think we have to make judgments we have to make split judgments sometimes. We have to make split second decisions. You know, in some of my career in the military, I had to make very quick, very important decisions on the fly. And as much as I did skate through most of my career, there were moments that mostly the qualification part of it. But there were moments in my career that I had to make some very quick judgments. And I think we all do that as human beings. Like, it is in our nature to be judgmental. It's a survival tool. Look at you guys. Look at you. Survival mode. Survival tool. Yep, absolutely. Because we're all in sync together here tonight on this podcast. I like it. Oh, I called it a podcast. I guess I'm doing it. Anyway, so I think the problem is that we're not afraid to talk about our prejudices and our stereotypes and stuff. Like, that's a part of the problem. Like everybody calls everything racist is because they don't understand prejudices. They clearly don't understand a society in which people have flaws and can be forgiven, and that people can make mistakes. I would say that that's a human nature condition. That is a natural reaction to being human, is to be kind of wrong. But I think the wise people are the ones that prevail, that are correctable, that are willing to take correction, rebuke, stuff like that. Bring in a guest on the podcast. I know I should. Guests are interesting, indeed. And you may have to just do that again very, very soon, unfortunately. Right? Yeah, I think, I think it's, I have I'm not worried about, okay, so first of all, as a Christian, all right, let me just preface this. Let me tell you guys, I'm a Christian, all right? I am an evangelical, Reformed Christian. I believe in the authority of the Word of God. I know a lot of you guys don't. That's fine. This is this is the conversation that we're having. But as a Christian, I don't believe my end times view is very different than mainstream Christianity. I don't believe in a coming tribulation. Do you think the Bible is the Word of God? I do, 100%. And I can't describe why, other than, I've done my journey through apologetics. I've done enough of a journey through apologetics to know that I have confidence in the translations of the Bible, in the Bible's presentation of the truth. I am aware of all of the controversy. I am well versed in asking those questions and getting those answers. So, but I do believe that the Bible is the infallible, inerrant word of the God that created everything. So, but my end times view is not a pre-millennial, post-tribulation sort of end times view. No, because, and see, here's why I disagree with you, Jack, is if you had made the claim that believing in God, in a higher power, was a genetic adaptation that has formed over a certain amount of years, if you had told me that in 1992, if you had said those words to me, Jack, in 1992, that believing in a God, accepting a higher power was genetic adaptation, in my world, in the world that I lived in the limited view, in the limited sphere of the world that I had in 1992, I would have believed you, and I would have said, absolutely. But, and I'm just going to go based off of my experiences, because, again, that's a theory, and I'm sure you believe it, and that's fine. Why I don't believe that is because I'm 41 years old. In the last 15 years-ish, maybe 20 years, but 15 at least, I have seen such a moral shift in the consciousness of not every person that I come across, but such a majority of the people that I have conversations with, there is no belief in God or a higher power. In fact, I've seen further and further proof that people are much more prone to believing in science, specifically in theory and studied science, observational science, and stuff like that. People are far more predisposed in my worldview now than I would have ever guessed that would be in 2022. Oh, I do believe in demons. Yes. Actually, I was just talking about demons earlier. We were talking about demons for sure. But yeah. Yeah. No, and Jack, you know what? I appreciate your takes, bro. I'm not trying to change your mind. That's not what I do. I think these are great conversations to have, and I appreciate you bringing up topics that I feel like I can respond to. You are just as valued as a person here in this chat. We don't have to see eye to eye on anything. We can be complete polar opposites. That's totally fine, man. And I do, again, I really appreciate even guys like Jordan Peterson, man. I respect Jordan Peterson, regardless of what other people's opinions are on him. Even he teaches about the morality that is in the Bible and the Ten Commandments and all of that as a great basis and foundation for moral responsibility, ethical behavior, right behavior, the best version of behavior, I guess. All right, let me catch up. I know God is real in my heart. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, we can agree on that, or we could disagree on that. Personally, I'm over the whole "Let's go, Brandon" thing. I thought it was hilarious the day that it happened. Sure, I've been susceptible to saying "Let's go, Brandon" in the recent past, but I do think it's kind of silly. So yeah, I think I like to. I mean, you guys obviously want to hear what I'm saying because you're here. You haven't left. You brought up some good things to talk about, so I appreciate that. And it sounds like you guys respect some of my views, even if you don't agree with them, and that's awesome. That's, to me, that is what it should be. That's how the world should flow. And I remember a day, I mean, I look at my kids, man, like I get a lot of stuff through my kids. I watch them argue. And if I can turn off dad mode for a minute and step back from the situation and not try to correct them, not try to tell them to stop fighting or stop arguing, stop bickering. But if I take a minute and I listen to them, I listen to their ideas, and some of them are so insanely wrong. And some of them are very right, but I don't try to stop them. I just try to teach them how to discuss things passionately, but in a way that's open to other views. Yeah, it's all about respect, right? Religion is a great tool for a productive society. I mean, it is. I think my answer of why it's a great tool for productive society is because it is ingrained in us. But not that it was an adaptive thing, because I think that we can, in all of our history, can look at many nations and see their deities. And I mean, we have awesome mythology because of the Greeks and because of the Vikings. You know, we have really cool stories of mythology. But I don't think that we are, in fact, I think we are less prone to belief in God now in 2022 than we were 1,000 years ago. No such thing as a one-size-fits-all. Yeah, that's true, man. Again, we are all uniquely created. Every single one of us to serve a purpose for God. And yeah, we don't all think alike. We don't all look alike. We don't sound the same. So why is the notion of Christianity more valid? Well, I don't think my answer is one that a lot of people understand. Imagine what the world would be like without the commandments. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Jack, I don't know that I could give you an answer that is logical. I don't think that there's anything that I could say that would be like, oh, okay, I understand why you believe in the Christian God and why you believe the Bible. Why would any non-demon need to be worshipped? Any non-demon need to be worshipped? I don't know what ethereal. I appreciate you part of the conversation. Thanks for coming in. I'm not sure what your question's related to. Can you form it differently? I'm not sure. This seems like a question based off maybe something that I said, but I'm not quite sure how to respond to that. So yeah, Jack, I think my answer to why Christianity makes sense and why I believe that Jesus is the Messiah is the Son of God, the one that died on the cross for the forgiveness of the world's sin. I didn't grow up believing that. I was taught it, but I didn't grow up believing it. And in my early adult years, I didn't believe it. Lived very much my own life. And one day, I heard the gospel. I heard that Jesus was the Messiah, that he died on the cross for my sin. And the next day, I believed it. And I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. But it was unexpected. I wasn't looking for religion. I wasn't looking for God. But life made more sense. And when life made more sense to me in a very miraculous way, I decided to devote all of my time to figuring out if it was true, if it was real, how could I fight against it? How could I validate my beliefs? How could I explain this change in my belief system? And there was no real logical answer except for God. God opened my eyes. I saw it. I saw Jesus. I saw Jesus for the first time and just knew that he was who the Bible says he is. And that's 20 years ago. Why would a god need to be worshipped? In other mythologies, it's the demons that need to be worshipped. That's a great question, Ethereal. Thank you. And yes, that makes sense. So that's an awesome question, actually. I really like that question. So why would a god need to be worshipped? In other mythologies, it's the demons that need to be worshipped. I can't speak for other mythologies. I don't know why in many other mythologies I would assume that that it was the demons that requested worship. I don't know that answer. I don't know why God requires worship from his believers. All I know is the Bible says that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. But I didn't create how things work. Like, this isn't my planet to create. Like, this definitely wasn't the religion that I would have created. It wasn't the one that I would have chose. It would have been way easier to pick a religion that was way more culturally relevant, I suppose. I mean, I think Christianity is very culturally relevant, but not in accordance with society's standards. So I wouldn't have picked this one had I not believed it. So I don't know, man. It's weird. But I don't know why God requires worship. I don't know. But I know that he is God and I'm not. And I worship him in spirit and in truth. I worship him on Sundays, with praise and worship, when listening to the message, reading my Bible, praying. I worship in raising my children to respect and honor God. I worship God by treating my wife with love and dignity and serving her as my spouse. I worship God by keeping my family out of danger. I worship God by encouraging my children, by teaching them at school. There's so many ways that I worship God. I mean, I don't know if the idea for some people is that God requires you to pray 5 times a day and face the east, that's not what the God of the Bible teaches. He does not require that worship in that manner. I mean, the way I understand it is, as a believer, my default setting is worshiping God. As a believer, once you come to the knowledge of who Jesus is, your default setting is worship. You glorify God. That's about the easiest way I can try to explain it to you. Try to make it logical. All right. I honestly feel bad trying to strip people of their faith, but it's easy to poke holes. You can literally say anything to me, man. You're not going to strip anything away from me. It's not yours to take. You could literally, I promise you could literally say or do anything to me, and you're not going to take, nothing is going to strip that away, because it doesn't belong to you. So you are more than welcome to ask and comment and say anything. I'm not here to berate you or demean you for believing something different, or for not understanding why I believe what I do. That's not what a Christian should do. And if anything, as a Christian, I have been called out more and more times than I even like to admit for the sins that I've committed. So I am open to correction. I am open to conversation. Truth isn't debated when you believe in God. My theory is that the Christian God is a God of power, and power craves worship. Well, I think the human response to power craves worship, yes. So I would agree with you. I think that you have to separate the created versus the creator when you're referring to love. For example, the Bible says, "Why is the invisible man listening to your whispering?" What? Why is the invisible man listening to your whispering? Oh, you're talking about God. Okay, sorry. Well, you could be nice about it. But anyway, so you shouldn't say you won't ever change your mind. Well, anybody that says that they're not solid on their own beliefs at the moment that you ask them isn't probably worth having a conversation with. That doesn't mean that my opinion won't change, but I'm not looking to change my mind. And if God were to, God has changed my mind about a lot of things. I used to watch porn all the time. I was literally addicted to it, hands down. Like, it's still a temptation. It's crazy. Porn is a crazy, addicting temptation. And God has changed my mind on it. Like, I actually find it disgusting. I really, generally do. So God's changed my mind on things. So I can't say that my mind won't change. It's not brave, man. It's just reality. There's nothing brave about me talking about my porn addiction. Do you know that I don't even remember what the percentage was. I think it was like 65 or 70% of Christian men still battle with porn addiction. It's really high up there, and that's Christian men. And that's not in a place where they're asking people that look at pornography as an art form or as whatever they want to do with it. We're talking about Christian men. About 65 to 70% of Christian men have struggled or currently struggling with a pornography addiction. So, and it's a struggle. I've had a lot of addictions in my life. I was an alcoholic for many years. I've been sober for not 20 years. I wish. I've been sober for 2 years. So, well, and that's fine if you want to believe that, honey. What I don't understand is why you are so adamant, and this isn't the first time that you've come into my lives, but you are so adamant to rebuke and rebut my faith. It is very strange to me that a person that I don't know has enough motivation to not only once, and maybe even not only twice, but at least for a third time, or at least for a second time, I'll say, maybe not 3 times, but this is definitely the second time. What would motivate you to just come in here and shit on my faith? I don't understand that. There seems to be a psychological thing that you are doing that drives you to do this. I don't know if you are just I don't know what you're mad at. I don't know what I've done, how anything that I've done or believe, how that even affects you. But I don't understand why this is your motivation. And it really, it makes me sad. Like, I'm sad for you. And I'm not trying to be demeaning. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But my heart is breaking that any person, whether it was you or someone else on a TikTok live, that would have such motivation to go into somebody's conversation and just shit on them. Does it bring you joy? I mean, I'm asking legitimately, honey girl, sweetie, does it bring you joy to come into people's live streams and just shit on their religion? That's all I want to know. Does it bring you joy to do that? Is this a fun? What's up, Ashley? Hi, hey, sorry. I saw you come in here earlier. Christianity is dangerous, so I think it's necessary. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. You aren't the only person that believes that. And in fact, she said the quiet part out loud, guys. I am fully and well aware of how the rest of the world looks at Christianity. They absolutely look at it as dangerous because we stand on moral absolutes. We stand for righteousness, and we stand for the name of Jesus Christ. And I understand. The Bible says that Jesus Christ is a stumbling block for those that are perishing. So if you were to imagine yourself running an obstacle course, every time that Jesus Christ comes up, you're stumbling. And it makes you mad. And that's what the Bible says. The Word of God says that. Because you're perishing. I'm very sorry that you feel that way. I'm genuinely sorry. If you would like to message me on the side, I could pray for you in any specific way at all. If there is anything that I could do or that my church could do to pray for you, but that's it. I'm sorry that my magical thinking is dangerous. I'm not in charge of anything, so you don't have to worry about me changing anything for you. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not even asking you to believe in Jesus. So it's okay. Again, I think pain responds with pain. People that are in pain respond with pain. That's a psychological truth. People that are hurt people hurt people. Actually, I had a pastor that said that. Hurt people hurt people. You can use that. You are welcome to use that and repeat that. And I think that's where we are. And I don't know what kind of hurt you have and what kind of Christian person has detonated some sort of evil grenade in your life, but I'm very sorry. The way I see it, we must make effort to better ourselves. Quit asking others to do it for you. I'm not asking anybody to do anything. I don't have any motivation whatsoever to change any person's opinion, to change their mind, their actions, their speech. Indigenous children murdered. Yes. There is some very terrible tragedies tied to so many religions, and it's a travesty. So maybe that's where the hurt's coming from. A lot of people might mean well, but don't have the skills to implement it. I think there's a lot of people that are on the spectrum that spend a lot of time on TikTok and don't know how to interact with people. But I'm not making the claim that she's one of them. I just think that a lot of the trolls that people get on lives are people that don't know how to socially interact with people. And I'm not saying that that's like their fault. I'm saying that that's just the natural result of having a one-size-fits-all app for all types of people. Oh, I know, Caveman, you're good. I'm not, I like how Honey Girl called me a creeper, and yet this is definitely not the first live that she has interrupted with her shitting on religion. Native, what's up, man? Just because people do things in the name of Christianity doesn't make them Christians. That's 100% sure. What's up, babe?
Can you start my bath?
Yeah, give me let's say about 10 more minutes, and then I'll get your bath rolling. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sound good? Why don't you go get your toys for your bath ready, Okay? Awesome. I'm going to go in 10 minutes, guys. You guys got me for 10 more. And then I'm going to go give my daughter a bath. It's the idea that religion is valid can cause many atrocities because people go off there. And that's, yeah, like Christianity is not solely at fault for religions going off the rails. The Bible itself is toxic and violent. Well, I don't know. I mean, the Bible, it has very violent stories and things written in it, yes. I don't know. You'd have to tell me what you find to be toxic about it. I think that it's not always the case, but I'm not talking in. I'm not the one making extreme statements here. I'm definitely not making extreme. The Bible is actually full of terrible, depraved people that God brought through and redeemed out of their depravity. The Bible is absolutely full of people's mistakes, full of misdeeds, full of sin. I mean, it's full of the Bible starts with sin. It starts with disobeying God. It's full of all that. I agree. Children are more important for sure. Well, my kids are very well behaved, and she'll be fine. Psalm 137:9. I'll look it up here in a second. The Bible was written by primitive people and is a primitive fairy tale. Again, an opinion that a lot of people don't agree with, but that's okay. I know. It just, look, honey, honey, girl, sweetie, I'm gonna give you an out. Look, I don't want to block you, and I don't want your feelings to get hurt. All right. I don't think that this chat here is where you're looking to find your fulfillment. Okay. But I don't want to block you. But I would ask that you would be respectful in my live, because these are other people that come here to see me talk, or to hear me talk. I guess see me talk too. So I would ask that you would be respectful in my live, because I would want people to be respectful in any live, even if I don't agree with it. But if you can't do that, what's the matter?
No, I was just going to pick up some toys in my room, but no one came over here in my room to go.
He's just messing with you, honey. Go.
No, he turned off the lights and
Okay.
shut the door on me.
Okay, I will take care of it. All right, guys. Hey, guys, I'm gonna go. I appreciate you guys being here and chatting. I enjoy the conversation. If you guys want to see some of my other live videos, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's in my bio. Click on there and subscribe, and I will put my these live videos I do try to post on YouTube, so you can listen to them. And they are long form conversations, 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. So check them out on YouTube. Look up Drew Breaks the News, I think, is on the YouTube channel. So love you guys. God bless you. I'm going to go take care of the family. It's been a great conversation, and have a great night.